Autograph Fisherman here, and this is Remember That Show. This is where I pick a show from our past and do a bio on it. This week, I'm picking Whose Line Is It Anyway? This is going to be a multi-part one. This first one is only looking at the original series. Let's see if it's going to be 1 or 2 or even 3 videos. Ha ha ha. Genre improvisational comedy. Created by Dan Patterson, Mark Levison. Presented by Clive Anderson. Country of origin, United Kingdom. Original language, English. Number of series, 10. Number of episodes, 136. Production. Running time, 30 minutes. Ink Adverts. 50 minutes. Christmas special Ink Adverts. Production company Hat Trick Productions. Original release. Network Channel 4. Release September 23rd, 1988. February 4th, 1999. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Shortened to Whose Line? Or WLIIA, is a short-form improvisational comedy television panel show created by Dan Patterson and Mark Levison, presented by Clive Anderson, and produced for Channel 4 between September 23rd, 1988 and February 4th, 1999. The program features a panel of 4 performers, 6 in the Christmas special, conducting a series of short-form improvisation games, creating comedic scenes per predetermined situations made by Anderson or from suggestions by the audience. Such games include creating sound effects, performing a scene to different television and film styles, using props, and making up a song on the spot. The program originally began as a short-lived BBC radio program, before the concept was adapted for television. During its history, the program featured a variety of noted comedians from Britain, America, and Canada. Frequent performers during the show's run included John Sessions, Stephen Fry, Archie Hahn, Josie Lawrence, Paul Merton, Rory Bremner, Tony Slattery, Mike McShane, Greg Proops, Ryan Stiles, Sandy Toksvig, Jim Sweeney, Colin Mockery, Steve Steen, Stephen Frost, Chip Eston, Brad Sherwood, Caroline Quinton, and Wayne Brady. The program was mainly recorded in Britain, though several episodes of Series 3 and 4 were made in New York, while the 10th and final series was shot entirely in California. The success of Whose Line spawned several domestic and international adaptations. An American version, featuring several of the same performers as the British version, aired on ABC between 1998 and 2007, and was revived on the CW in 2013. A short-lived Australian version ran on the Comedy Channel during 2016. 2 similarly themed British comedy programs, Mock the Week 2005 to 2022 and Fast and Loose 2011, were created by Patterson. History. In 1988, Dan Patterson and Mark Levison approached the BBC with a concept for a new comedy program involving a group of performers conducting games that encompassed improvisational comedy. The title of their concept was a comedic riposte to the radio program What's My Line, which had recently moved to a television format, merged the title of a 1972 play, Whose Life Is It Anyway? Their pitch was well liked by the broadcaster, who greenlighted a radio program for broadcast on BBC Radio 4, commissioning 6 episodes. Both Patterson and Levison opted for it to be presented by Clive Anderson, with John Sessions and Stephen Fry as the regular performers, accompanied by 2 guest stars each episode, while music was provided by Colin Sell. After the radio series came to an end, Patterson and Levison began discussions with the BBC on creating a televised adaptation of their concept. However, the broadcaster was hesitant on making the move, leading to the pair being approached by Channel 4, who eagerly liked the idea, and securing a deal from producers to bring the program to their channel. The move to television was initially hit with a problem, as while it was desired for the regular cast to appear on the first televised series, Fry had begun to dislike conducting improvisational comedy. The matter was resolved by allowing him to pull out, with Sessions convinced by Fry to remain as a permanent performer for the first series. Fry did agree to appear in 2 episodes of the first series, and would make a surprise return to the show in 1997 for 1 episode in Series 9. In addition, Sell was unable to perform on the program, resulting in Richard Vranch, a member of improvisational group, the Comedy Store Players, based at London's Comedy Store, becoming the resident musician for much of the program's broadcast. Whose Line proved a success when aired on Channel 4, effectively helping to boost the careers of some of its regular performers that appeared during early episodes, including several members from the Comedy Store Players. These included Paul Merton, Josie Lawrence, and Sandy Toksvig, and comedy actor Tony Slattery. At times, the program also featured a number of celebrities who made occasional appearances during the earlier series, such as Peter Cook, Jonathan Pryce, and Griff Rhys-Jones. After appearing in every episode of the first series, Sessions reduced his involvement with the show, making his last appearance in Series 3. While the program drew from the talent of British comedians, it also expanded to recruiting those from America, including Greg Proops and Mike McShane, both formerly of San Francisco improv group Fault Line. During 1991 and 1992, several episodes of Series 3 and 4 were filmed in New York. By Series 5, other projects led to several regular performers, including Lawrence and McShane, to appear on the show less frequently, while others, including Merton, made their last appearances in this series. Slattery and Proops continued to appear regularly, as did American comedian Ryan Stiles and Canadian comedian Colin Mochrie. Stiles and Mochrie proved to be very popular with viewers, and the show's ratings continued to improve. Stiles eventually became a permanent performer on the show, appearing in every episode from Series 7 onwards, as did Mochrie from Series 8 onwards. As the series progressed, the viewing figures of Whose Line began to drop after reaching the peak of its popularity in Series 6. Part of the problem was due to the constant use of regular performers, leaving little room for new talent to be showcased, one of the main appeals of the program's early years. The departure of Slattery, one of the show's most popular performers, after Series 7 also affected ratings. During this period, the show still occasionally saw one-off celebrity guest performers, including George Wendt and Eddie Izzard. By Series 10, filming of the program moved to Hollywood, California. With the exception of Anderson still as presenter, the show's cast was now entirely North American, with fresh talent found in comedians such as Wayne Brady, while Vranch was replaced by Laura Hall as the in-house musician. However, after the broadcast of its final episode in February 1999, Channel 4 decided to axe the program following the eventual slump in the show's viewing figures. Repeats of Whose Line continued following its cancellation, though with episodes edited and reformatted as a result. Format: most television episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Featured 4 performers, with the exception of 6 in the 1989 Christmas special, who sit in a line of chairs at the back of the stage. The host, Clive Anderson, sat at a desk facing the large performance area in front of performers. Anderson introduced each performer with a joke or pun, usually all related on a common theme or topic. The show is made up of games that are scored by Anderson, who declared arbitrary point values after the game, often citing a humorous reason for his decision. The points are purely decorative, serve no practical purpose, and were often awarded to the audience or other arbitrary third persons. The styles of the games are varied. See games below. Some feature all 4 performers, while others feature fewer. The performers who are not involved in the game remain in their seats at the back of the stage. Humorous banter between Anderson and performers between games is also sometimes included, with Anderson and Greg Proops play arguing with each other becoming a regular feature over time. At the conclusion of each episode, a winner or several winners are chosen arbitrarily by Anderson. The prize for winning the show is to read out the closing credits in a certain style, chosen by Anderson, as they scrolled on screen. Episodes were culled down from longer recording sessions, with the best game performances chosen to compile into 1 or more episodes. Each series includes 1 or 2 compilation episodes of unaired games from different taping sessions in that series. Games. The number and type of games played vary from episode to episode, and while some games such as Questions Only and Hoedown became more common over time, others such as Authors and Remote Control faded from use. New games were created throughout the show's run. Some games, such as Tag, are based on traditional improv games, while others are uniquely created for the series. Most games consist of a single long skit performed by the chosen performers, but some, such as World's Worst and Scenes from a Hat, are played as a rapid-fire series of short skits. While all games are designed to test the performer's improvisational skill, some also test other skills, such as singing or doing impressions. Whose Line features a number of musical games, which features the show's resident musicians, Richard Vranch or Laura Hall, playing live backing music. Occasionally, pre-recorded music is also used. Some performers, such as Josie Lawrence, Mike McShane, Chip Esten, and Wayne Brady, particularly excelled in the musical games, while others, although they were good sport about it, openly despised performing in them, particularly Paul Merton, Stephen Fry, and Ryan Stiles. During games like Rap and Hoedown, Fry would almost never even attempt to sing or rap, and instead would just talk about the subject of the song. In one game of Rap, Fry actually did attempt some rapping, albeit half-heartedly, but gave up out of embarrassment after a few words. Stiles would frequently inject insults into the Hoedown whenever he is forced to sing it, usually pointed at Anderson or just the fact he was having to perform a Hoedown yet again. Colin Mochrie would generally speak his lines instead of singing them for musical games. Some games require suggestions or topics. Depending on the game, these may be solicited directly from the studio audience during the taping or written down by the audience and or production staff in advance, and then randomly drawn for performers' use. Anderson used a buzzer to signal the end of a game or of individual sections in the rapid-fire games. Cast. The show was presented for its entire run by Clive Anderson, who is the only person to appear in all 136 episodes. Richard Branch was the in-house musician for the first 9 series, 1988 to 1998. Branch was replaced by Laura Hall for the 10th and last series, 1998 to 1999. The following are all the performers who appeared on the show. Ryan Stiles, 92 episodes, 1989 to 1999. Colin Mochrie, 71 episodes, 1991 to 1999. Greg Proops, 67 episodes, 1989 to 1999. Josie Lawrence, 53 episodes, 1988 to 1998. Tony Slattery, 48 episodes, 1988 to 1995. Mike McShane, 43 episodes, 1988 to 1997. Stephen Frost, 33 episodes, 1992 to 1998. John Sessions, 24 episodes, 1988 to 1991. Paul Merton, 20 episodes, 1988 to 1993. Brad Sherwood, 17 episodes, 1992 to 1999. Sandy Toksvig, 15 episodes, 1989 to 1991. Jim Sweeney, 11 episodes, 1991 to 1993. Rory Bremner, 9 episodes, 1988 to 1998. Caroline Quinton, 9 episodes, 1995 to 1996. Chip Esten, 8 episodes, 1992 to 1995. Archie Hahn, 8 episodes, 1988 to 1992. Stephen Fry, 7 episodes, 1988 to 1997. Steve Steen, 7 episodes, 1991 to 1993. Neil Ashdown, 6 episodes, 1995 to 1996. Jonathan Price, 6 episodes, 1988 to 1990. Ron West, 6 episodes, 1989 to 1992. Wayne Brady, 5 episodes, 1998 to 1999. Jim Meskimen, 4 episodes, 1991 to 1992. Christopher Smith, 4 episodes, 1991 to 1992. Phil Lamar, 3 episodes, 1998 to 1999. Kara Murayama, 3 episodes, 1997 to 1998. George McGrath, 3 episodes, 1988 to 1991. Rory McGrath, 3 episodes, 1988 to 1990. Jimmy Mulville, 3 episodes, 1988 to 1989. Catherine O'Hara, 3 episodes, 1998 to 1999. Arthur Smith, 3 episodes, 1990. George Wendt, 3 episodes, 1997 to 1998. Jane Brucker, 2 episodes, 1992. Mark Cohen, 2 episodes, 1991. Russell Fletcher, 2 episodes, 1993. Sam Johnson, 2 episodes, 1992. Neil Malarkey, 2 episodes, 1990. Ardal O'Hanlon, 2 episodes, 1996. Jan Ravens, 2 episodes, 1988 to 1990. Griff Rhys-Jones, 2 episodes, 1988 to 1989. Patrick Bristow, 1 episode, 1998. Julian Clary, 1 episode, 1991. Peter Cook, 1 episode, 1988. Debbie Durst, 1 episode, 1997. Graham Garden, 1 episode, 1988. John Glover, 1 episode, 1988. Eddie Izzard, 1 episode, 1995. Richard Kaplan, 1 episode, 1988. Chris Langham, 1 episode, 1990. Ian N. Raytel, 1 episode, 1988. Paul Ryder, 1 episode, 1989. Lee Simpson, 1 episode, 1990. Betty Thomas, 1 episode, 1988. Denalda Williams, 1 episode, 1991. Deborah Wilson, 1 episode, 1998. DVD release. The first DVD of the UK show, featuring every episode of the first 2 series, was released in America on March 27, 2007 by A&E Home Entertainment, and in the UK on January 25, 2008 by Channel 4. The UK edition is edited to remove references to the ad breaks. There were also 2 VHS releases, in the UK only, during the 1990s. Legacy. In 1998, shortly before the program's cancellation by Channel 4, Ryan Stiles introduced the program's format to fellow comedian Drew Carey, who took great interest and subsequently pitched an American version of the same name to the ABC TV network with great success. Their pitch was to conduct the same variety of improvisational comedy-style games as the British original, with Carey hosting the program and both Stiles and Colin Mochrie being permanent performers. The American version largely maintained the same style as the UK version, with only a few minor variations. As well as Stiles and Mochrie, a few other veterans of the UK original, Wayne Brady, Greg Proops, Brad Sherwood, and Chip Eston, also appeared regularly on the show, with Brady very quickly, after the first few episodes, as a semi-regular, joining Stiles and Mochrie as a permanent performer. The American version of Whose Line ran on ABC from 1998 to 2007 and returned in 2013 on the CW with new host Aisha Tyler. On March 6, 2011, over 12 years after the series finale, a special edition of the show, with Clive Anderson returning as host, was recorded for 24-hour Panel People, a marathon of UK panel shows in aid of Comic Relief. The recording was broadcast live on the Comic Relief website at about 9:30 a.m., while the edited compilation shows for the event were shown between the 13th and the 17th of March on BBC Three. The format was adjusted to feature 5 performers, with veterans Josie Lawrence, Tony Slattery, and Neil Malarkey appearing alongside Humphrey Kerr and David Walliams. In 2017, a stage version of the show appeared at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, hosted by Anderson, with original cast members Josie Lawrence, Mike McShane, Greg Proops, and Colin Mochrie among the performers. The initial shows were a sellout and extra dates, and shows were put on. Sellout runs followed at the London Palladium and the Royal Albert Hall, with Chip Eston and Brad Sherwood also returning. In April 2019, it was announced that the stage version of the show would be returning to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, with 2 more original cast members, Tony Slattery and Stephen Frost. Okay, so that was the first part of Remember That Show. Whose Line Is It Anyway? I will put out the second part next week. Next week will be the start of more modern shows, so keep your eyes open for it. If you happen to have any thoughts about the original Whose Line Is It Anyway, let me know them in the comments. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. As always, until next time, keep on collecting. Bye.